What's up, everybody? It is Matt Modi with OddsJam, and for this video, I am detailing the Sixers versus Raptors playoff series. So, one thing I feel like I should probably mention right off the bat is I am a Sixers fan, so I am cursed with that part of my life as a diehard Philly sports fan. I'm also cursed with infinite knowledge about this disgusting basketball team. So, in my analysis, I'll try to be as unbiased as I can be. Just to be right up front, I'm not high on the Sixers' chances, A, in the playoffs, B, in this series. So you won't get any bias towards the Sixers, maybe against. But looking at this series as a whole, depending on what book you look at, the Sixers minus 190 to win the series, Raptors plus 160. Those are the best odds I'm seeing for the Raptors. Best odds on the Sixers, I've seen minus 185, and I've seen minus 178, and then minus 190. So the best odds you can get on the Sixers if you want is on FanDuel at minus 178. I'm going to stick with Caesars for obvious reasons. But when I'm going about looking at this series specifically, there's a lot of factors that kind of make me sway back and forth based on who I think is going to win. Number one, the Sixers probably have the two best players in the entire series in Joel Embiid and James Harden. Harden has been pretty disappointing in the regular season. Aside from a wild start with the Sixers, he's been pretty disappointing. But you hope that in the playoffs he has another gear to hit. And then obviously Joel Embiid, absolute animal, one of the best players in the league, probably will be second in MVP voting, just an absolute stud. So the Sixers have the high-end talent, but the Raptors just have insane depth and long arms and just a really solid roster top to bottom. I really like, obviously, the best player is probably Pascal Siakam. Fred VanVleet is really good. OG Anunoby is really good. Scotty Barnes is good. They have players off the bench. Precious Ochoa has had a good showing with the Raptors. They have long, gangly arms. They just have a bunch of different styles and ways they can play. They also have a distinct, and I think what will be the defining factor in the series, coaching advantage. Nick Nurse versus Doc Rivers is probably the biggest mismatch in NBA playoff coaching history. A little bit of a hyperbole there, but I mean, if you switch coaches, you put Nick Nurse on the Sixers, you put Doc Rivers on the Raptors. The Raptors probably missed the playoffs. The Sixers are probably favorites to come out of the East, or at least tied with the Bucks. That's how high I am on Nick Nurse, and B, low I am on Doc Rivers. My issues with Doc is that he's an old, stubborn coach. He only plays the veterans. He doesn't play any young guys, mostly to the detriment of his team. He refuses to change up his rotations. He plays exactly one way and one way only, and he doesn't change anything up, regardless if it's working or not. There's a reason why Doc Rivers has blown the most 3-1 leads in playoff history. It's because he doesn't make adjustments, and when the other teams do, I just play this way. Whereas Nick Nurse, I think he might be one of the best coaches in the NBA. He is like a mad scientist. I said the same thing about Ty Lue. The same thing is true for Nick Nurse. He plays just a ton of different ways. He experiments with everything. He experiments with lineups, with tactics, with defensive formations, with offensive plays. It's amazing what Nick Nurse has been able to do since he took over head coach from Dwayne Casey. I have immense respect for Nick Nurse as a head coach. And I think he's just going to coach circles around Doc Rivers. Another huge factor in this series is the fact that this obviously there are going to be 3 games at most, possibly only 2, that are going to be played in Toronto, right? They have the vaccination policy where any player that is unvaccinated cannot play in Toronto. That applies to the Sixers' best wing defender in Matisse Thybulle. Outside of him, they don't really have anybody that you feel comfortable guarding a wing, which is unfortunate going against a Raptors team that is filled with wings. So that's a distinct matchup disadvantage for the Sixers. Nick Nurse and the Raptors roster also plays Joel Embiid the best of any team I've seen. Pretty much since those old Celtics days, we've not seen a team be able to shut down Embiid like Nick Nurse and the Raptors have been able to do. Obviously, they did that in the past with big body, incredible defensive player Marc Gasol, but even this year when they don't really have that traditional massive center big man, they throw creative double teams. They just have they do a really good job of playing defense and getting in Embiid's passing lanes when he backs him down, doubling at the right time, switching over when Embiid makes the pass, and never leave a shooter open. So while I love Embiid, I think this is actually a pretty difficult first round matchup for him. And I don't know necessarily if he's going to struggle, but he averaged 30 points. He led the league in scoring in the regular season. I don't expect him to average 30 points in this series. I'm not super confident in James Harden in this series as well. He's been primarily guarded by Scotty Barnes since he joined the Sixers in the 2 games against the Raptors, and Scotty Barnes has done a really good job against him. The Sixers have also lost 2 straight to the Raptors, and both of those games the Raptors had significant players missing. So all in all, I don't have a lot of confidence in the Sixers, if you couldn't tell. So I'm surprised that they're this heavy favorites. Minus 190 is too rich for my blood. I love getting the Raptors at plus 160, so I'm not going to mess with any outcomes, with any specific games. I'm just going to take the Raptors straight up. That's going to be my official big bet. I'm taking the Raptors. So I got them at plus 160 on Caesars. Because I'm signed up for every sports book, I was able to compare the odds between the books, and I found the best odds on Caesars. So one thing I want you to do is look at the links in the description of this video, and you'll see, look at the description and you'll see a bunch of links. So if there's a sports book that you're not signed up with, those links give you sign-up bonuses to all those different sports books. So sign up where you're not if there's one that's legal in your state. I can't recommend it enough. When you do sign up, you can use the OddsJam tools to take advantage of those sign-up bonuses. You can arbit for guaranteed profit. If you have a free bet or if you have site credit, you can convert that into real cash. What I like to do for risk-free bets is just put it on a plus money positive EV bet. And then if that doesn't hit, then I have the free bet, which I'll then convert to cash. But either way, you really need to, as a sports bettor, it's incredibly important that you're signed up for every book that's available to you. So definitely do that. The other thing I want to note is futures, unfortunately, are not on the site, so I have to manually add these to my bet tracker. But this bet tracker, as you see here, is a completely free offer. There's a completely free tool that OddsJam offers. Excuse me. All you need to do is just go to oddsjam.com, go to the bet tracker, and you can use the best bet tracker on the market. It gives you all the insights that you need. So unfortunately, I had a bad week last week, down over 350. Was up a little bit the week before. Was up a ton the week before that. My best week ever since I've been using OddsJam. I get all this information from the bet tracker. So non-future bets that you put in here, it auto-grades your bets for you. So a little sneak preview of some of my plays that I have. It'll auto-grade all these bets for me. So I won't need to go in and mark them manually as won or lost. So it's an amazing tool. But as far as this video goes, for my official pick, like I said, I'm taking the Raptors to beat the Sixers. I just have no faith in the Sixers to have any answers for an extremely tough Raptors team. So that's my big bet. If you're tailing me, fading the Sixers, backing the Raptors, let me know. You can hit me up at my Twitter handle below. I would also appreciate if you liked the video, comment, show us your feedback that way, and then of course click that plus button, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. But that is all I got for you. So thanks for watching and have a good one.